Hello, Jim, the garden doctor. I've got some questions and like to have you review this to let me know what I should do. As you can see, we've got the Garden Doctor book out here, and we're looking for problems. And so I think we found problems, and we're looking for solutions. Here it says nitrogen-starved cucumbers can produce fruit like this. I'm wondering if that is an example or if this is an example. Then we're going to be looking at some other items here also. Here we're looking at the yellowing leaf. It shows that it's consistent throughout the plant. Then we've got, that's for nitrogen. Then potassium. We've got the scorched and ragged leaf edges. We're seeing that on a lot of the cucumbers. Then we've got, again, this type of a leaf here that we're seeing all over the cucumber, and that's for potassium deficiency. Then we've got white dots and gray blotches for potassium deficiency, and again for calcium we've got the delay. This is what it looks like for calcium. This one says it's delayed, so they're going to lose a lot of leaf. And then this last one here, oops, scratch, the binding just broke. Early calcium deficiency symptoms on tomatoes is nexcorious on the older leaves. So let's take a look in the garden and see what problems we find. We're going to take a look at the Kentucky Wonder green beans first. Here's the first plant, and you can see we've got some kind of white spots here. Over here we've got something going on here. This is just kind of one leaf, but we are seeing a consistent pattern of this here all the way down the leaves, which is kind of, I know it's not a film, could be bugs. There's a bunch of those dots underneath it. Hope you can see those. I don't know if that's poop or not. So that's what we're seeing with the green beans. There's another example of that. I don't see any black dots under there. Looks like I just sprayed this with soapy water. We've got some white dots. There's some more leaves here. Something's been eating that. Some more kind of dried out leaf. No black dots. No black dots. Something eating that there. But anyway, so that's the general health of the Kentucky Wonder green beans. The watermelon, to me, let me just back up. The watermelon looks good to me. I don't see any kind of deficiencies. Sue says they look a little yellow, and she thinks that they need some nitrogen. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. It's cool to see them hanging. But when we get over to the melons, this looks okay to me. But we'll come over here to the cucumbers, really. And we're seeing a lot of this dried out leaf. You know, I grew up and I thought that was kind of normal because that's what I always saw with cucumbers, but it may not be normal. And I have seen a lot of, I don't know, I think they're called leaf hoppers. Here's a typical leaf here. Some more leaves down here. And here's something that looks like had a little bunch of eggs. Just kind of looking at this with you as we go along. There's another leaf. I'm seeing a lot of this here. So if it is potassium I don't know what to feed it. I know nitrogen, I know I get the 2100. The calcium, I get the lime, but I'm not sure about potassium. Here is another cucumber plant, and feel free to stop this video at any time to get a closer look. And I don't know if it's just older leaves and I just need to get rid of them, but this is what we're looking at here. And it's kind of pretty consistent throughout all of the cucumbers, this kind of dried up leaf here. Here's one where the tip got broken off, I think, from the people who were helping. Maybe I did it, I don't remember. But they really did a good job in the garden as far as saving the garden. Really appreciate their efforts here. So any suggestions on the cucumbers and what they might need? And you know, can I just, if I'm going to give the cucumbers potassium, do I just go all the way down the bed and give it to the cantaloupe and the bell peppers too, and the watermelon? And same thing with the calcium. It seems that with this sawdust, it needs more fertilizers as it decomposes. Here are the sweet peppers. Got something eating on this. Haven't treated it yet because it doesn't look epidemic, although I don't want to wait till we have a huge explosion of something. But if I don't have to spray, I won't. But I can certainly spray. We've got whatever we need here. Alright, let's take a look at the tomatoes. We're seeing a lot of this here. It's kind of a speckled look on the tomatoes. Hopefully you can see that. Here's again. And I don't know if this is heat caused. The moisture gauge in the soil seems to indicate that we've got lots of good moisture in the soil, and it kind of stays consistent that way. Here we have some more leaves, just kind of going down the row here. Now if it's an isolated leaf, I'm not too concerned about it, but if it's kind of consistent throughout the plants. Here's another tomato, and don't know if that, what's causing that. My thought was originally that this is calcium, and so I have been giving it some lime. I fed yesterday with weekly feed, and want to know, do I wait a couple days and then can I just put the potassium, nitrogen, and whatever the other one was on here, and will that take care of the problem? Or do I need to do like one a day? And I think the gardening course book says to use 8 ounces per 30 feet for all of those items. There's another tomato plant. They're kind of spindly, I think, because of getting the shadow of the house. But compared to Sue's tomato plants. Alright, so here we are down at the, well, let's just go back here. There's another plant here. Take a look at those leaves. Don't want to get too close. I'll back out on occasion because sometimes you can't see the forest from the trees. And so I just want to give you kind of an up close and also general feel of the plants. So going from the top down, this plant here, this is what we're seeing. And then we'll go from the top of this tomato plant here also and go down, and we see the older leaves having the yellow on it, which indicates to me calcium. Then last thing is we've got the zucchini, and as you can see down here, we've got the vine borer right down there. That's on the base of every one of these zucchini plants. So I did squirt some thuricide inside of each of the little tubes here, but I don't know if that's going to help. However, we still are growing zucchini, and we still have large green leaves, so hopefully that's a good indication that maybe they'll make it. And here we are over to some green beans. I don't know what kind these are. They're certainly taking over. I tried to get them back down through the netting, but it couldn't. But here we have this same kind of thing that we're seeing in a lot of the other plants. Try not to get my shadow on here. You can kind of see, hopefully, what I'm talking about there, with the whiting kind of fading towards the center. And that seems to be pretty predominant throughout the plant. I go a little bit higher. Still see some of it all the way up here also. That's consistent throughout the entire plant. So if you have any feedback on any of those, I'd certainly appreciate it. An email or phone call would be great. Thanks a lot, Jim. Appreciate all you do. On a more positive note, we are getting some great harvests here and enjoying all that we are harvesting. This is from my wife's garden. I'm still out producing her. But we had some great steamed vegetables last night. Here's some zucchinis. So that reminds me, I missed a couple of zucchinis yesterday. So these are pretty large. I don't necessarily like them this large, but made some great zucchini. Oh no, these are all cucumbers. Had some nice not stir fried, but steamed vegetables last night for dinner. It was wonderful. Here's these Kentucky Wonders. They are very, very prolific. And there's my Brussels sprouts. So enjoying the harvest, whether it's steamed or made into a zucchini muffin. Turn on some light. There we go. There's some nice looking tomatoes there.